I am a resident of Gorham, moved here 15, 20 years ago, started my business here in town and then moved here shortly after. I've always been a mountain biker. I was kind of in this from the beginning. Started this whole, I guess, journey of creating a mountain bike trail network in town here. Yeah, so the Weeks parcel is basically a chunk of land that the town owns. It was a site of an old dump, and there was some trails in there, and I think it was a local party spot for the local teens. So we kind of started by improving trails in that region, and of course connecting under the bypass road to the private parcel, which is owned by Sean Moody.
But no, we recognize the growing popularity of health, fitness, and outdoors. I think it's great. My wife and I will get into Portland for different events or go to eat or whatever, and people I don't know will just approach me and thank me and say, wow, the trails, we've ridden a lot, in southern Maine, we love the trails.
As we expanded that parcel, we started thinking about Alden Hill. I remember going to Mr. Alden. He's over 100 years old now. I remember knocking on his door and said, Mr. Alden, hey, your land, do you mind if we can open up those trails again? And before I could finish my sentence, he said, have at it. I want people outside enjoying my land.
I like to think that the wooded property has not changed dramatically. The family has been here since 1755 on the same property. I think it's important that people have access to that kind of property around Gorham. And I'm particularly impressed with the cooperation I've received from the bike club as far as keeping it cleaned up.
Over the years, we've organically grown from a core of about 6 or 7 guys helping out to a list of over 200 volunteers who come out when we have trail days, whether it's something big like building a bridge or clearing a new trail or just routine maintenance, which there's a fair amount of.
We coordinated with Charlie Hamblin, a local landowner that's given us permission to build trails on their property, and Gorham Bike and Ski to do a combination of a trail build and end of season barbecue. I think we had over 50 people show up. And so it was awesome that we finished off one of the new trails that we'd been working on.
I actually ran into one of the guys at Lone Pine Brewery. I always enjoyed riding bikes. So they thought they could do some trails. So we tried it out in a few places, worked really well. Very responsible, very clean, great trails, wonderful people. And they've expanded and continue to expand on other parts of the farm.
The trails wouldn't be what they are without community involvement, whether it's landowners allowing people to be on their land or the folks clearing the land, maintaining the bridges, the snowmobile clubs in the wintertime maintaining the trails. I mean, it's a full community effort to keep the trail systems looking the way that they are. I think everybody's been on the trails at one point, whether it's Cherry Hill trails, just some of our great walking trails that go down to the rivers. In the winter we have snowshoers, we have snowmobilers, we have cross-country skiing. So the trail systems really lend themselves to all of that.
Our decisions have been guided by trying to make something that a lot of people will enjoy. And, we have trail runners out there who really enjoy this stuff too. And then as fat biking became more popular, we didn't necessarily think we have to build winter-friendly trails. But it turns out we have very winter-friendly trails, especially with the snow dogs for grooming. And, we've got a crew of winter volunteers who are pretty dedicated to grooming when it snows. And, so you find, it's normal to see 20, 30 cars near the pump track in the summer, but you can see that in the winter too, when the fat biking is good. So we built something special, and we went from, not really having a trail presence in town to the middle school and high school now have mountain bike clubs, and they can take kids out right from the school and be on the trail. They don't have to go anywhere.
That's huge.
Like some kids got into racing, and I think part of it was they could spend their summer, riding right out of their backyard or not too far from their house.
My name is Denny Albert. I teach 7th and 8th grade health, and I'm one of the advisors for the Mountain Bike Club. And my name's Anton Gullison. I'm an 8th grade teacher, and I'm another advisor for the Mountain Bike Club. Turnout's been good this fall. We had 15 riders today, 15 riders yesterday, plus a high school kid joined us last week.
Yep. So it's open to grades 6 through 12. And yeah, so far this fall, yeah, it's been really good.
Yeah.
At some point, we're going to have to hand this off. We're not getting any younger. And then, seeing different user groups get out there, whether it's an adaptive group or a women's group, and it's just something that's cool to see evolve and make the sport more accessible.
I'm Nicole Sear, and came out today volunteering for Greater Portland NEMBA, where they had the first ever women's mountain bike skills clinic. I like the trails in Gorham because they're super welcoming for beginners, but also can be really fun for more advanced riders. There's some sections of trail that you can get on to ride the technical features. Once you get into like Moody's, this is the section is called, but also you don't have to ride those technical parts, which is nice for the more beginner, intermediate level riders.
And I think that's the appeal of Gorham, is we kind of have it all. Like if you want a nice, fun family ride, you're going to go to the Weeks Moody parcel to ride. If you want more, I guess, old school type of riding, you're going to ride our Tannery parcel. If you want more fun, flowy, new school type of riding, you're going to hit up the flowy trails on Hamlin. And of course, Alden Hill has some nice stuff in there too. So there's a flavor for everyone. I think that's what makes it popular.
Seeing the trails evolve has been amazing. Being able to ride them right from my house has been amazing. And I know people have moved into my neighborhood and they've gotten into bidding wars over their house. And I know the trails were part of why they bid higher, because they knew they'd be close to something like that.
Really cool that the majority of the trail network is almost downtown Gorham. It's really close, and so we've started them with Sebago Brewing, and then we've also done some started and ended at Junction Bowl as well. And so we can leave downtown Gorham and go hit some of the different regions of trails, and then come back and chat about trails, chat about riding. The local businesses have been incredibly supportive.
Trail system obviously is the key draw to town. Big economic draw for the town of Gorham. It brings in not only people to the trail system, but it brings in people to businesses, so people eat after they go. It's constantly seeing people at Sebago Brewing with bikes on the back of their cars.
Whether it's, before a ride going to the Blue Pig for breakfast, or after a ride going to Junction Bowl or Sebago or Sullivan Bakery. Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities in town.
I think the trail networks are a huge asset to the town of Gorham. When you look around at what we have, we don't have a lake, we don't have an ocean, so one of the things that brings people to Gorham is the opportunity to ride, walk, run the trails. And we've certainly had a number of listings that are right near some of the trailheads and market heavy to people that would want to take advantage of that.
We weren't expecting hundreds of people out on our trails any given week. So I think the shift most recently has been putting resources back into improving what we already have so it's more sustainable in the long run.
At this point in time, we're pushing or over 50 miles of trails in Gorham.
The trail network here in Gorham just continues to expand, and it's got a little bit of something for everybody. We're here at the Crosstown Trail. It's a great trail to just be so close to town and be able to kind of get out on a trail. It's been really amazing to see what NIMBA and the Conservation Commission has been able to do, and it's really opened the door too for other user groups, such trail runners, people just looking to walk. We've seen over the past few years a number of outside groups looking to come in and hold different unique events here in town. We do our own, glow in the park up at Shaw Park. USM does a zombie run at Cherry Hill. We do an ultra marathon here in town now. We partnered with the New England Dog Sled Association, and they do a training race. Our tagline in Parks and Rec is all ages, all seasons. Anything that gets people outside, anything that gets people on trails, we're really all about.
So excited about the future of the trail system and network here in the Gorham area. And we've got more land. We're going to do a development here over next door at the racetrack, where we've got land set aside for trail. And that was a big goal of ours, to try to connect this kind of western side of the village. Is really, it's spotty right now, and we're working to try to connect those gaps.
The main thing I'd say is just expanding a skills area at the bike park for riders of all ages is something that we'll take on this year.